Welcome to Banu Chemistry Concepts YouTube channel. Today we will discuss about the topic accuracy and precision in the unit evaluation of analytical data. What you are going to learn through this video today. What is accuracy? What is precision? What are the differences between accuracy and precision? And finally, what are the methods to express accuracy and precision? Firstly, let us understand the definition of accuracy. Accuracy measures the closeness between an experimental value and true value of the given quantity. For example, you see here in a lab, if the mass measurements of 4.54 grams of a given sample are obtained as 4.53, 4.52, 4.55, and 4.56 grams, then we can say that the measurements are very accurate because 4.54 is the true value or accepted value, and all these four values are very close to the accepted value, that is true value. Hence, we can say these measurements are very accurate. Accuracy can never be determined exactly because the true value of the given quantity is never known. Accuracy relates to the quality of the result. Next, let us understand precision. Precision measures the agreement between several experimental results of the same quantity. For example, in a lab, if the mass measurements of 4.5 grams of given sample are obtained as 4.52, 4.52, 4.53, and 4.52, that means the student got these four values, and these four values are very close to each other. That means all these four measured values are very close to each other. This indicates that these measurements are very precise. Precision can be determined exactly, whereas accuracy cannot be determined exactly. This precision can be determined exactly by replicating our measurements of the same quantity. That means by doing our experiment 4 times, 5 times, or 6 times. If you get the nearly almost the same values for every time, then we can say that there is precision in our data. Precision relates to the quality of an experiment. It tells about the quality of the experimental procedure, whereas accuracy tells about the quality of a result. Then precision is independent of accuracy, which means high precision does not imply high accuracy. High precision may sometimes may have a low accuracy too. Let us understand the accuracy and precision concept through an simple analogy. Imagine a player shooting at a target. Let us assume this is the shooting target, and this is the center of the target known as bull's eye. Now, the accuracy is related to how close the shooter shoots an arrow to the bull's eye, and precision is related to how close the second and third arrows are close to the first one. Let us understand in detail. Let us see the first picture here. Here all these hits, all these six hits are close to the center of the target, that is bullseye, as well as first hit, second hit, third, fourth, fifth, sixth are close to each other. That indicates high accuracy and high precision. Let us go for the second picture here. Here the all the six hits are not close to the center of the target, that is bullseye. That means it is lacking accuracy, and whereas all the hits are close to each other, as you see here, clearly indicates high precision is there in the data. In this picture, the hits are close to the almost close to the center of the target, that is bullseye, but they are not at all close to each other. This clearly indicates high accuracy and low precision. Let us go for the last picture. You can observe here the hits are neither close to the bullseye, neither close to each other, which clearly indicates low accuracy and low precision. Let us understand accuracy precision with one more analogy. Imagine a basket player shooting the basket with his basketball. You see, in this picture, the player always shoots the ball to the same location here. 3 times he shoot the ball to the same location, but it is not close to the basket. This clearly indicates low accuracy because the ball does not reach the basket, but high precision is there because all the 3 times the player shoots the ball to the same location. In this case, you see the player always shoots the ball to the same location as well as close to the basket. That clearly indicates high accuracy and high precision. In the third case, you can observe that the player shoots the ball to the 3 different places which are not at all close to the central target, that is the basket. That clearly indicates lack of accuracy and precision. Let us understand with an example in a lab. For example, a student measured 3.856 grams of a standard sample in a lab. The results are as follows. Student A measured the standard sample in trial 1, trial 2, trial 3, trial 4, as well as student B results are like this and student C results are like this. Now you can check here. Student A, this is the true value. 3.856 grams is the true value or accepted value. Now student A values are not close to the accepted value or true value. That means there is no accuracy in his results. But these 4 measured values are close to each other. That clearly indicates precision is there in his results. Let us go for student B results. All the 4 measurements are close to the true value as well as they are close to each other. That clearly indicates accuracy and precision in his data. Student C results. The 4 trials of mass measurements are not at all close to the accepted value or true value, and they are not close to one another. That clearly indicates there is no accuracy and no precision in the results of student C. Then what are the differences between accuracy and precision? Accuracy is a measure of the agreement between the experimental value and true value of the given quantity, whereas precision is the agreement between 2 or more experimental measurements. Accuracy can never be determined exactly because true value of the quantity is never known, whereas precision is determined exactly by replicating the measurement of the same quantity. Accuracy relates to the quality of a result, whereas precision relates to the quality of an experiment. Accuracy is a level of conformity, whereas precision is a level of reproducibility. If precision is good in your experimental procedure, then definitely you will reproduce your results. Accuracy is concerned with systematic error. Then what is meant by systematic error? Systematic errors are those whose sources can be identified and hence these errors can be minimized. Precision is concerned with the random error. Then what are random errors? Random errors are those errors whose sources cannot be identified and hence they may not be minimized. Then, what are the methods to express accuracy? Accuracy can be expressed by 2 methods, namely absolute error and relative error. First of all, let us understand what is absolute error. The difference between the measured value and true value of a quantity is known as absolute error. Let us see by using this formula. This is the formula to calculate the absolute error. Absolute error equal to modulus of xi minus xt. Here xi is the measured value or experimental value and xt is the accepted value or true value. Absolute error is a measure of the magnitude of the error. We can get what is the magnitude of error in the experiment. Let us understand through an example. If 4.16 is the true value of a quantity and 4.08 is the measure value of the quantity, then by using the formula absolute error is equal to modulus of xi minus xt, you substitute that xi xt values, you will get a modulus of 4.08 minus 4.16, you will get minus 0.08. This modulus of negative value is positive. Therefore, the absolute error is 0.08. Let us understand relative error. Relative error is a measure of the error related to the size of the true value. That's why it is the ratio between the absolute error and true value of a given quantity. Hence, it is given by relative error is equal to absolute error by true value. As already we discussed, absolute error formula is xi minus xt divided by true value. True value is xt. Therefore, the formula for relative error is equal to modulus of xi minus xt by xt. Do this example. If 4.16 is the true value, 4.08 is the measured value of the quantity, the relative error is calculated as follows. Modulus of 4.08 minus 4.16 by 4.16, you will get minus 0.08 in numerator, 4.16 in the denominator. You will get modulus of minus 0.019. Modulus of negative value is positive. Hence, the relative error is 0.019. But generally, this relative error is expressed in terms of percentage or parts per thousand or parts per million. Therefore, how to convert this relative error into percentage error? Just you multiply with 100, you will get in percentage. Here, the relative error is 0.019. You multiply with 100, here you will get 1.9%. That this relative error is widely used in all the science experiments in our lab generally. To know the percentage of error. Generally, if the error is 1 to 2%, then the student may get some good marks. If error is more than 2%, generally he will lose some marks in the practical examination. Then, what are the methods to express precision? Precision can be expressed in terms of mean, standard deviation, variance, relative standard deviation, and coefficient of variation. Before going to the methods to express precision, let us understand the simple concept. What is population and what is sample? This is population. Population is the complete set of large data, and the small subset of the population is known as a sample. This is the sample which is extracted from the large set of data. Large set of data is known as population, and a small set of data extracted from the population is known as a sample. Let us understand mean or average. Mean is the sum of the measurements divided by the total number of measurements, given by the formula mean equal to sum of all measurements by total number of measurements, mathematically given as x bar equal to sum of, which is indicated by summation. Here xi stands for the individual measurements by total number of measurements. Here n stands for the total number of measurements. Let us understand by using this example. Calculate the mean for the following data set: 10.3, 10.6, 10.4, and 10.7. There are 4 measurements. That means n value is equal to 4. Add all the 4. 10.3 plus 10.6 plus 10.4 plus 10.7 divided by 4. You will get 42 by 4, that is 10.5. This is the sample mean. Sample mean, because very small data set, that's why you can call it as a sample mean. It is denoted by x bar. For population mean, it is denoted with the letter mu. Mu is equal to same formula again, summation of xi. Here it is a individual measurement, and n is the total population. The average of several measurements of the same quantity is more probably closer to the true value than a single measurement. The more measurements you average, the better precision of the average. Now you can understand easily, the average of 2 measurements is more precise than 1 measurement. The average of 3 measurements should be more precise than the average of 2, and so on. That means if you measured a quantity with a single measurement and you measured a quantity 2 times, That means you got two measurements. You take the average of the two measurements by adding the two and by dividing with the two. Then you will get some value. This value is more precise than the single measurement. Similarly, if you measured a single quantity with three measurements, then add the three measurements and take average by dividing with three, you will get some value. This value will be precise than the average of two. That means in the absence of this absolute error, the mean approaches the true value as the number of measurements increases. Greater the number of measurements, the higher is the probability of the mean to approach the true value. That means if you have five measurements, you take average, then this average is more precise to the true value than two measurements or three measurements. Standard deviation. Standard deviation is one of the widely used measures of precision. Standard deviation is defined as square root of sum of the squares of deviation divided by the number of degrees of freedom. You can see the formulas here. This is the formula for standard deviation for a population, and this is the standard deviation for a sample. You observe clearly in this. Standard deviation for a population is indicated by the letter sigma, and the standard deviation for a sample is indicated by the letter S. Here you observe here square root of sum of, indicated by summation, squares of deviation. Deviation means xi is the measured value and nu is the population mean. Mean means population mean indicates it is a true value. The difference between the measured value and a true value is nothing but the deviation, divided by number of degrees of freedom. Here in standard deviation for population, the degrees of freedom is the total population n. Therefore, here you can see square root summation squares of the deviation divided by the number of degrees of freedom. Similarly, in the standard deviation for sample also, you can see here square root summation squares of the deviation and divided by degrees of freedom. The only difference between the standard deviation for a population, standard deviation for a sample is the number of degrees of freedom. In the standard deviation for a population, the number of degrees of freedom is n, whereas in the standard deviation for a sample, the number of degrees of freedom is n minus 1. That means if n is the total number of measurements of the sample, then number of degrees of freedom is n minus 1. In practice, only the sample standard deviation can be measured. This will be widely used in our lab experiments. Then why the degrees of freedom is n minus 1 for n observations? Then before going to that small concept, let us see the definition of degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom is the number of independent observations in the data while estimating a parameter. Just degrees of freedom tells that number of independent observations. That means they should not be dependent on any other data. Therefore, the total number of independent observations gives the degrees of freedom. Let us understand more about the degrees of freedom. Let us imagine four numbers, say A, B, C, D. Four numbers A, B, C, D, whose mean is 5, that is average is 5. Then what will be the sum of that 4? If you add, what is the formula for mean? How to calculate the mean? A plus B plus C plus D by how many numbers? 4 is equal to 5. You cross multiply it, then you will get A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 5 into 4, 20. That means if you add these four numbers, you should get 20. Now, freely suggest the four numbers A, B, C, D. A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 20. First number I suggest as 6. It is my choice. You can suggest any number, 6. Therefore, 6 plus B plus C plus D is equal to 20. Now, suggest freely the second number, say 2. Now, 6 plus 2 plus C plus D is equal to 20. Now, freely suggest the third number. I suggest 3. Therefore, 6 plus 2 plus 3 is equal plus D equal to 20. Now, there is no freedom for you to suggest the fourth number, because you see this equation here, 6 plus 2 plus 3 plus d is equal to 20, then the d value is automatically fixed here as 9. There is no freedom of choice to select this number. That means out of 4 numbers, you have only freedom to select 3 numbers. Hence, similarly, for n measurements, you have only n minus 1 degrees of freedom. Hence, in the standard deviation formula, you used n minus 1 as the degrees of freedom. Let us understand the standard deviation by using this simple problem. This is the data set 10.3, 10.6, 10.4, 10.7. First, calculate the average indicated by x bar. 10.3 plus 10.6 plus 10.4 plus 10.7 by 4. You will get 42 by 4, that is 10.5. Now, these are the pure data set. Then take the deviation. Deviation means the measured value minus mean value, x bar, that is 10.5. You will get minus 0.2. Similarly, you calculate for this 10.6 minus 10.5, you get 0.1. For this, you will get minus 0.1. For 10.7, you will get 10.7 minus 10.5, you will get 0.2. Then square these values. Square of the deviation. Now square that. Minus 0.2 square is equal to 0.04. 0.1 square is equal to 0.01. Minus 0.1 square is equal to 0.01, because negative square of negative values is a positive value. 0.2 square is equal to 0.04. Now sum these all these 4 values, mathematically indicated by summation. Add these 4 values, you will get 0.10. Now you substitute here. The formula of standard deviation is equal to square root of the summation of the squares of the deviations, that is 0.10 by degrees of freedom. Here degrees of freedom is the total measurements is 4, therefore n value is 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 is 3, therefore degrees of freedom is 3. Therefore square root of 0.10 by 3, you will get a value 0.183. In this way, you can easily calculate the standard deviation for a sample. Then what is the relationship between the standard deviation and precision? The standard deviation is directly related to the precision of the experimental procedure. Higher the standard deviation values, lower will be the precision of that experiment procedure. Lower the standard deviation, the higher will be the precision. And there is no direct relationship between the standard deviation and accuracy. Only there will be a relation between the standard deviation and precision. Therefore, always being students, we should look for the lower standard deviation in our lab measurements. Then what are the other ways of expressing the precision? Variance. Variance is defined as the square of the standard deviation. Just now in the previous example, you got the S value. Just you do the square of that, you will get the variance. Variance is also directly related to the precision. Lesser the variance, higher the precision. Next method is relative standard deviation. Relative standard deviation denoted by RSD is equal to standard deviation value, that is S by mean. Mean as is it is indicated by X bar. And the last method is coefficient of variation, or we can say percentage relative standard deviation. Here you will get a S by X bar value. Just multiply that S by X bar value with 100. You will get a coefficient of variation, that is a percentage RSD. These 3 are the other methods to express precision. So students, what you have learned through this video today: accuracy is the agreement between the measured value and true value. Precision is the agreement between 2 or more measured values. And absolute error and relative error are the methods to express the accuracy. Mean, standard deviation, variance, and coefficient of variation are the methods to express precision. Thank you. Kindly subscribe my YouTube channel, Banu Chemistry Concepts, and kindly share with your friends.